So you never know when Nintendo is going to drop a massive bombshell of news on a random Wednesday, but they did just that today. And so I'm here to talk to you guys about it. And so here's what's going on. Essentially, the head producer of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and a guy who's been one of the producers of every Metroid Prime game so far, either a co-producer or the main producer, is Kensuke Tanabe, and he is retiring. And so what just happened is there was a recent article with Nintendo Dream Magazine. Everybody just caught wind of it today. And I will say I will have another video on this article as soon as we have a legitimate translation on it. I can't just Google Translate the article and figure out everything that's said that way, but a lot of the time those are really poor translations and a lot of the information can be misleading. Shine Sparkers is a Metroid fan community, and they're actually working on a translation as we speak. And they always have Japanese speakers, who will translate for them. And that'll probably be the best way for us English speakers to get accurate information on it. So as soon as that is available, I will go ahead and make another video talking about that translation and that article, because there is a lot in it. He talks about his ideas behind Sylux, behind the ending of the game, why he made, a lot of the decisions he made. And so that is definitely something we're going to want to talk about in depth. Now, he did say a couple things that I just want to touch on real quick. First off, he saw Metroid Prime 4 Beyond as the first part of a Sylux saga. So I don't know if that necessarily means he envisions this being a trilogy like we got with the Phazon saga, but he envisions this as a Sylux saga. Now, he did also confirm that Metroid Prime 5 is actually not in the works. And so he hopes it'll happen, but apparently it is not being worked on at this moment, although he hopes it gets green-lighted because he wanted this to be the beginning of the Sylux saga. Now, I will say I have been critical of Sylux's story, like many people have, but I do think that could be fixed in Metroid Prime 5. I'll actually make videos about that in the future. I don't think the backstory that we got from him has to be everything that goes into his character. I think there's a lot that can be elaborated upon, kind of like how the original Metroid Prime trilogy elaborated on the whole Phazon, Planet Phase, and the Leviathan Seeds as we went further into the second and third game. Now, he is retiring. He is stepping away, and this was his final Metroid game that he is working on. Some people are going to be making rumors saying that it's because of the poor reception. I cannot confirm or deny that, but apparently he's just ready to move on. He's 63 years old, and typically in Japan, by the time you reach 65 in corporate media, that's usually when you're heading out on retirement. And so he's on his way out. Replacing him is Risa Tabata. Now, Risa, she has actually been involved with Metroid Prime games for a while at this point. She's been working with Nintendo since 2002, where she was a coordinator for Metroid Prime, and then she was an assistant producer and a coordinator for Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and she's worked on basically every Metroid Prime game since then. Now, Metroid Prime 5, if she ends up doing that, that'll be the first game where she is, well, I assume that'll be the first game where she is the head producer. And so, at the very least, she was involved with the original Metroid Prime trilogy. She probably has a good understanding of what makes a Metroid game. And so for that reason, I am actually pretty excited about the future. Although I am thankful for Kensuke Tanabe and the great games that he's given us in the past. For example, he was the lead writer going all the way back to Link's Awakening and A Link to the Past. So we literally have him to thank for some of the greatest Nintendo games of all time. But with that being said, he is, for some reason, absolutely obsessed with the idea of expanding the Metroid Prime universe and just Metroid universe in general with more of the Galactic Federation. And if we look at recent history, the Metroid community has not really been receptive to that. Typically, we like Metroid games that are isolating, that are quiet, where Samus is alone, and we just got that eerie Metroid feeling. But Metroid Prime 3, under Kensuke Tanabe's influence, did have more involvement from the Galactic Federation, and that's a big reason why. That was a lot of people's least favorite Metroid Prime game from the trilogy. And then obviously he, basically doubled down on that with Federation Force, with most Metroid fans don't like at all. And now we've got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which quadruples down on that. And so I think a lot of people are actually going to be happy, and I have been seeing people thinking that the Metroid Prime series is ready for a change, and so I am hopeful for the future now. I don't think you have to scrap the story. I don't think you have to retcon anything. I think it was open-ended enough to where you can improve things and you can build upon what they've set up. And like I said before, I'll talk about that later on. But please, let me know in the comment section below, how are you guys feeling about this? This is a massive transition. We've got a new head of Metroid games, a new head producer. So I am very, very curious to hear how you guys are feeling about this. Personally, I'm glad it's somebody with experience who's been involved with Metroid games for a very long time at this point. Stay tuned for a follow-up video that's coming up shortly as soon as we get the full translation of this article, because there is a lot of meat to it, so I can't wait to talk about it. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Metroid content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.